Well, mainstream media isn't wasting any time manufacturing consent for the United States' illegal invasion of Venezuela. Here we've got a headline from Reuters: Nicolas Maduro's tight grip on Venezuela shaken loose by Trump blitz. Here's another headline from the same story: Nicolas Maduro's heavy handed rule in Venezuela is finally ended by Trump. Here's CBS framing it as a breath of fresh air. Here's a retired U.S. Army general being brought onto MS Now talking about how rad the operation was. Here's the New York Times in November making the case for overthrowing Maduro, next to a bipolar admission today that it is illegal and unwise. The Wall Street Journal is reporting on Wall Street firms already exploring investment opportunities in Venezuela. Here's the Washington Post calling it justice in Venezuela. Here's Michael Hobbs reminding us that the same Washington Post editorial board called the Seattle mayor raising taxes to pay for childcare a totalitarian power grab. For WAPO, an actual power grab by the United States using military force without congressional approval is justice. Manufacturing consent refers to the ways mass media in the United States functions as a tool for propaganda, serving the interests of powerful elites rather than the public. That could be the American public, that could be the global public. Look, Maduro is a bad guy, but the last illegal invasion by the United States into another country, Iraq, in the early 2000s, led to hundreds of thousands of civilian deaths and a years-long occupation. Institutional support for American imperialism knows no bounds, and there is no death toll corporate media will seemingly not make excuses for when the powers that be want to plunder resources that don't belong to us. Trump is on record saying we will run Venezuela and extract their oil. So as your information nutritionist, I'm going to recommend you add voices like Michael Hobbs and Marissa Kabas to your media diet, as well as newsrooms that are doing less normalizing and more warning of the consequences of this action, like Current Affairs, which did this piece, and Foreign Affairs, which did a piece about the folly of invading a country for regime change twice in 2025. And let's not forget to add In These Times to your media diet as well, which was talking about what a bad idea it would be to invade Venezuela back in 2019. You don't always have to agree with the diverse voices that I recommend, just like you don't have to always want to eat broccoli, but an information nutritionist tells you what's healthy. You certainly will have a better understanding of what's really going on if you expose yourself to their perspectives. Let me know in the comments what consent manufacturing you're seeing out there. Here's to healthier information.